being said, Crips, it's time for us to welcome the YouTube audience. Welcome back to Valorant Challenger South Asia, driven by Hyundai. And with our styling partner, Philips One Blade, we've got the players walking.
You've got all of these players ready to rumble. They've performed really well throughout the group stage, and they were shy of the top spot by just one win. Now they are here to reclaim what they couldn't before. They're here to prove why they are worthy of lifting this trophy and why they both deserve respect more than Velocity and Orangutan do. Even though Velocity and Orangutan topped their groups, these were the teams that were touted to take them down. They can be called the Kingslayers. Let's see who wears the crown today.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but their jerseys have golden stripes on it, both of them, so it's kind of cool. It's like a match made in heaven, you know. They've got the same pinch. If I was there, I would do the same pinch while I'm walking out, but I mean, it's okay. But moving on forward, I mean, the players, and yeah, the mystery is unfolded in front of us. Sai is going to be playing the first map. That means either we're going to be starting things off on Haven or Icebox, because these are the two maps so far we've seen Sai play on. I guess it's going to be Haven, considering it is the most fan favorite map and also the players' favorite map inside South Asia.
Yeah, that's a very good deductive reasoning. A good statement with determining the map leader based on which player is going to be played. Oh man, you should be somewhat
he was walking away.
Sherlock.
Tix was just walking away in the back. He was like, all right, I guess it's done. We're just going to go and sit. This man just wants to play. He just wants to get his hands on the gear and warm up as quick as possible. It's understandable. I mean, it is the matchup. It is the start off. It is their showcase inside the playoffs. And who wouldn't be just stoked to get their hands on the gear and just try and dismantle the opponents? On the other hand, we've got the players at Reckoning Esports grouping up and sort of discussing, maybe having a little bit of pep talk. But one thing is really remarkable about Reckoning Esports. Whenever they bring up a tactical timeout, you see an instant shift and an instant improvement in the players' performance.
Yeah, that's because Reckoning Esports have such a deep playbook. They've got many variations of the same attack, and sometimes they've got completely different ball games altogether. So every time you see that tactical timeout, you will see a guaranteed shift in Reckoning Esports playstyle. And they just flip a page, man. They just go on to the next one, ignore whatever's happened in the past, ignore whatever tilt or discomfort they're feeling. Meanwhile, for God's Reign, whenever they take a tactical timeout, it's more along the lines of trying to read what their opponent is doing. So both these teams are like the perfect yin and yang. If they move along with each other, it's just going to turn into a race of who's ahead and which one of them is trying to make the moves first. Oh my goodness. Haven not on the map view anymore? That's
interesting.
Sad. But hey, I'm happy that Icebox is picked up.
Yeah. I'm really happy we're seeing Icebox out here, but we're seeing Ascent being picked up from Reckoning Esports, and that means we're going to be seeing almost the similar type of composition that we saw in the past from Reckoning Esports, where we saw them play that even Chamber was pulled out on this map. So I'm really excited for both these map picks, but Icebox being picked up and Haven being banned, this is definitely a huge surprise. And as I said, when we're going to be seeing the Sai on that stage, that means either he's going to be playing Haven or Icebox, because so far we have seen that man on both of those maps only. But soon enough, we're going to be traversing inside the map of Icebox. Crips, what are your expectations for the first map?
For the first map, I think
in the past. Instead, you just have that Omen on Flabbit. But once again, quite an aggressive approach from Reckoning Esports. And even their opponents, God's Reign, they're trying to capitalize and shut down the push as quick as possible right here. Reckoning Esports, they're now starting to fall back. Tix doesn't have any clue that there's a man pushed up in the back, but Master will be found. And God's Reign, somehow they're able to capitalize and take down the entire B main presence. But it's completely fine with God's Reign because they're going to get the spike plant down.
Placing swarm grenade.
Reckoning Esports, this is such a different approach from them. It's so weird to see all the attackers towards the snowman area and towards defenders spawn. Voya is actually going to be able to make a lot of difference because he's trying to circle around the Crossing members who are trying to enter from Orange, but he might be a bit late to the party. He needs to make a move right now. Nobody's checking Voya, so he can actually get a lot of kills over here. But the defuse being stuck on the back of that Sage wall, that's impressive. Deadly can't do anything. And it's up to Voya. He's nowhere close to the defuse. God's Reign can this position. Reckoning are the ones who have a slightly weirder one. It's gonna be up to God's Reign to make sure that Reckoning don't really surprise them.
Ooh! That crosser placement, man, so perfect. Just waiting for Voya to walk in his crosser, and that Bulldog's gonna strike him down so easily. Woya gets surprised, didn't expect the man to be there. Just that single tap and the burst is going to seal the deal. Master, just lurking around in mid, and maybe his presence will be spotted soon enough, but no, he's going to be able to sneak in inside the tube. Still's holding the outskirts, and finally decides to sneak in. His teammates towards the B main side, they have managed to get a decent amount of control. Flabin's all the way towards yellow, but the spike is all the way back in spawn.
Okay, this is a bit weird. Reckoning can get inside and maybe even cross ahead of their own wiper wall by using the Omen smokes as cover. But the question is, to what end? Like, what do they want to accomplish over here? They really are keen on taking Snowman control. A very different approach from the attackers like this to take deeper control and make sure the Conjuring can't really rotate in via the pathways, which kind of makes Conjuring uncomfortable, but the plant goes down. And now some of them are playing towards Yellow, and the others are playing towards Snowman. The flank from Master, good for one, but he's gonna give away a Vandal to Hoax.
Yeah, he was not really able to find the amount of value that was expected from him, but still, I guess he was at least able to get away with one, so that can be still counted as a reward. But if we would have gotten both of them, then that flank would have been truly there. Truly successful. Hoax is now going to start to wreak havoc on the site. He's managed to find out one. It's a 2-on-2 scenario, definitely pullable. Godsreed, they know exactly where the players are positioned. Deadly 10, unfortunately, is going to whip out the shots, not able to capitalize. Flabin's way too low, and Flabin's now trying to get as close as possible. He will take out the diffuser, and that will help him secure the round. Flabin,
because of it. All they have to do is just get back. Lockdown will probably keep them away from planting the spike.
Ooh, what?
Sai is gonna spray them down. Amazing.
What a spray down. Melts two players in the front. But Deadly 10 will reply back even stronger. Sai, he gets sent back to sleep. And now the players of Godsreed, of course, trying to get their hands back inside the side, trying to crawl their way up in. The spike still went down, only 30 seconds left, and the spike planter will be killed. Deadly 10 goes huge with a 3K. He will find 3 for himself. Will also get the spike plant down, but he's got no clue that there's a man on the flank, and it's the name of Auden. Master is still there in the back lines. He's got the spike plant down with the help of Deadly 10, and now it's all up to him to try and pull off this clutch. Does he have any clue that there's a flank activated? Maybe now he does. He's expecting the man on the flank. Autumn, on the other hand, taking his sweet little time, not really overextending on things. He's just trying to find out where exactly the opponent is, but Master gets a glimmer, and he will shut it down. Still positions not marked, not given away. Should be able to find at least one, and he exactly does. And is also able to inflict a lot of wounds on the rest of the opponents. Hirsch will find Autumn. Man's being shut down instantly. On the other hand, though, they've also got the Resurrection available in the hands of Tix, and Vapori pushes up and finds Flabin. Reckoning Esports, they're getting picked apart one after the other. Definitely not a good news, considering the fact that the opponents are on an eco, and still they're losing out weapons like this. And there's also Hunter's Fury available in the hands of Sai that will be utilized to try and cancel the plant. Labor in close quarters, trying to stall the push for as long as possible. Uses a snake bite inside the smoke just to buy a little bit more time for the rotation.
Oh, with this plant, Woya's gonna have his resurrection. That is if he's allowed to plant in the first place. Master is down. All members of Reckoning Esports were just 1 point away from their ult, but Woya has no place left to stand. The wall gives him no cover. And now it's all down to Harsh. Nearly impossible 1v3 to pull off. Spike drop deep inside, and there's no safe passage across.
Ooh.
Gets the kill onto Hoax, but of course that was going to happen. He's going to get peeked instantly. Lovely conversion from Godrain. Getting a trip.
Autumn. Operator in the hand, looking to strike someone down. But instead will be now forced back, but he finds one fading away. Hirsch was the man who was caught. And this operator is now going to strike down even more bodies, if not taken care of in time. We'll fall back with the operator. Once again, side position for success inside the site. And his position still not known. Tix pushing up all the way from rafters. This Viper's Pit is quite good, as long as they're not able to trust, or as long as they're able to hold it down pretty well. Just make sure that the opponents are not trespassing in. Tix will get the resurrection onto Hoax, so that's good news for Godsreed, and that will help him out in the retake pretty well, but it's a 3-on-5 scenario. Already in the favor of Godsreed. All they need to do is just find the bodies that are hiding inside the Viper's Pit, and they will.
I think it's still a good round from Reckoning Esports. They use only one ultimate in the process and get a plant. It's going to solidify their economy quite a lot going in the next round.
Yeah,
and they still have plenty of
ultimates to take out the operator, and he's getting pushed up. Oh, that single pixel is all that's needed, and Autumn will find Flabin taken down. That's a huge lurk shut down. Reckoning Esports, but they still get the plant down. Now it's all down to the post plant. Let's see how much of a destruction these guys are able to cause on the site. Lockdown invested. That's going to help him out a little bit more. Deadly 10 doing his job perfectly fine. And now the rest of Godsreen will need to fall back. Woya's position, I guess it's compromised.
Right here.
But Reckoning Esports, it's a 3-on-4 scenario, pullable. But the man advantage is in the hands of Godsreen. Undisputed reused as well. Every single piece of ultimates being utilized inside this round. Retake in the hands, but it seems like Autumn's going to be more than enough. And Hoax will shut down the final man.
Yeah, the lockdown does basically nothing. All it does is buy time for Reckoning Esports.
He connected that shot through the Viper's wall. Impressive. Voya is flanking up all the way from kitchen. Flabin finds one slipping by. Hoax shut down. Ticks all the way down to 35 HP. Autumn's a man who's got the operator in the hands. So let's see how much he's going to commit to this entire retake. He is on the B site and still is searching for some bodies, and he hasn't found any. Tix is going to try and go for the stick, but unfortunately also gets scanned by the dart. What a shot! That's a great way to close things off. And now Godsreen, it seems like they have gotten their hands slowly and steadily on the site, but Flappin!
Really stop the spike ball. Look at this deep wall from Voya. Takes at least kills him, but the spike is dropped in a treacherous spot now. Everything was going well for Reckoning until the spike goes out of their control, and they've had this problem so many times in the past. I guess one way of solving it is violence. Deadly 10 picking up the pace, picking up the kills as well. But he's gonna have to do a lot more damage in order to get the spike in control. Hope's being challenged. Pushed back towards the edge of orange.
That's just so unlucky. That's just so unlucky. I saw in the minimap, Flabin was marking that trail towards Snowman, saying that I'm going to flash that. You push up and get the kill. But now, on the side, it's an absolute bloodbath. Autumn is the last man left alive to pull something off. He's got a huge stream in front of us. Let's see if he's going to be able to pull that off or not. Deadly 10's quite low, so I guess it's still pullable in the hands. Slowly and steadily starting to make his way towards the site. Deadly 10 almost could have been spotted out, but no, he's in a safe spot for now. Gonna use the Nana Swarm. Flabin on the other hand, even he's quite low, so they do not really want to go for any type of extra risks, and Flabin will wrap all. Blinding. Paranoia is ready in the hands, and it will be utilized. Flabin, he was getting pushed up, but Reckoning Esports, somehow they managed to close out both those players in the close quarters. They try to take the fights up close and personal, but Reckoning Esports, they're quite trained for those type of duels. And they're over and over again just punishing Godsreen. So many utilities just on their faces, and they've also lost out on 2 players, so there's not even a lot of manpower left over anymore. Hoax is taken down to half HP. Sai is quite low as well. All they need to do is just connect the remaining bullets. That's what they exactly do it. Sai was the last man, but Voya is going to be good for 4. Close up slowly and steadily. There are 3 players present towards the B side from Reckoning. Try to go for the plant. Will be denied with the Nano Swarm, at least for now. A slow orb utilized as well. So it's being delayed for quite a while till the rotation's coming in.
And this is actually quite nice for Godsreen. They've managed to bait out all the stopping utility from Reckoning Esports. Now when the plant actually goes down, Reckoning won't be able to really stop them. They can only probably use their guns.
But the rotation's here. Look, Reckoning Esports, that's quite good for even them as well. Every single player's now on the B site. Yeah, they do get the spike plant down, but they will now need to force an entire army of Reckoning Esports. The shock dart was perfectly there on the board. Hirsch and Flabin were able to find 1 each. And Godsreen, now they're down to a 3-man squad. Definitely don't have the man advantage, and a man like Koya is on a tear. He will find 2 for himself. Autumn is trying his best to fight back, but even he will be denied soon enough. It's all down to Hoax, a 1-on-1 scenario against Flappin', and what a shot! Hoax!
A very risky round, a very chaotic round, but not in the sense where they're playing hide and seek with each other, but the kind of chaos which you see when all hell breaks loose, when everybody's fighting each other at the same time. It's just trade after trade after trade. And honestly, this is quite a different flavor of the round that we've seen in past, as compared to whatever we've seen in the past. Nice flicks from Hoax and God's Reign of
Probably try to fake their presence towards the B side, just the way they have been doing so far. And then, once they've gathered all the attention on the B side, they will start to fall back towards the A. Reckoning Esports try to capitalize and compromise on the enemy position. They try to push up and take the battles up close and personal, but it didn't really work out because God's Reign, they're just waiting for them to funnel in. And even up till now, they haven't really pushed up at all. One player gets marked, and now Reckoning Esports is able to read into what God's Reign are trying to bring to the table here. They're just staying out, waiting for Reckoning Esports to push up and make a mistake. And Autumn, what was that shot?
No more so.
Autumn. He punished Flabin when he was waiting for so long. Flabin wanted to make just one move and it's denied to him. Now Dumby10 has everything to do. A sharp shot onto the board, but it doesn't really matter. They're gonna use the Resurrect and get Sai back online, and he's got the Hunter's Fury, so even if there was any hope of a retake, it would have been denied by...
3 players primed up on A. And I guess Woya, to a certain extent, this man has some sort of a clue of what's happening in the front. Autumn's able to sneak all the way deep inside the tube, but Hirsch finds 2. A monstrous spray down and also uses the Hunter's Fury, manages to attack Tix once, and Tix is not going to be able to get alive. Hirsch himself is down to 70 HP. Lockdown was invested from God's Reign to try and buy some more time off, but Side Dreams himself has got a Hunter's Fury available, which he will probably use as soon as he hears a tap. But he's playing quite close, so I highly doubt what sort of game plan's going on right here for God's Reign. Sai's really up close and personal. He's not going to be able to use that Hunter's Fury, and he also gets marked up by the recon dart.
Oh, it's all up to Hoax now. He's using the nanoswarms as best as he can, but he will have to pull off the impossible to make it happen. Reckoning Esports make it work. A symphony of ultimates used one after the other to make this round possible. As soon as Harsh used that Hunter's Fury to deny the plant, it was the silver lining for Reckoning here.
They've still got a minute left, so I guess they're good enough. They can use their ability sweet time, but the players are getting spotted, and Side Dream's able to find the opening. A crack in the wall's being found, and now God's Reign will try to push through that crack as forcefully as possible. They will try to brute force their way in on the site. All the players are now starting to stack up. The Sage wall is getting denied as well. But Autumn, he's a flying bird, and he will shut down Woya. Hirsch in the back lines. He's got the recon dart available. A decent amount of utilities in the hand. Let's see what Hirsch is able to pull off. Cancels the planner. Will also get the second one down. Hirsch, that's a monstrous play. But still, the man advantage is in the hands of God's Reign.
Wow. Harsh basically secured the win condition for his team. And he also allowed Deadly to bump lockdown. It gives them so much space, but Tix has already shot him down. Master's gonna have to stick this, and the only cover he really has is his toxin screen. He sticks it to half at the very least with a nanoswarm, but now God's Reign are gonna descend upon him with the Wrath of Gods. All just fighting in his direction. Master just begging for survival, hoping to stay alive. Gets the kill onto Tix, but the round is still seemingly impossible to clutch.
Autumn's holding up quite deep. Reckoning Esports, they're now starting to get impatient. They're pushing up quite up close and personal. Crosser placements, perfect. Takes that flick.
Jesus. Okay, this guy's on fire, dude. I thought that one flick he had from rafters towards the fridge on the defensive half was a one-off, but this guy's insane. He's hitting shots that he's never hit before. Where was this Tix throughout this tournament? We used to...
That ace is definitely something that's going to reignite the fires. The flames of success is in the hearts of Reckoning Esports. But this time, Master, he got a little bit too ahead of himself. Got taken care of quite easily. Flabin's going to fall back. He did have the operator in the hand, but wasn't able to find anyone. Not a good news, of course. But God's Reign, it's going to be a clean stroll on the site. Hunter's Fury used. 2 players tagged up. Good news, he's trying to soften him up as quick as possible. Woya is now going to be the man who has the operator in the hand too. There's 2 operators on the board for Reckoning. Let's see how much of an opportunity, how much of value these guys are able to find. Woya able to strike down Autumn. That's a big man taken care of. Now it's a 4-on-4 scenario. Recon dart available in the hands of Hirsch, and he will try to use it.
Yeah, and he switches over to the Vandal immediately getting the pick with the op. A counter wall being planned. Nah, if he's just gonna use it in the standard way to block off the spike and hopefully stick the defuse before spraying it down. Helter Skelter, the wall breaks. the spike is half gone, and with it, the hopes of Reckoning as
Oh.
well. God's Reign avoid overtime. They clutch it out in the last second.
As you said, it was way too close, man. Way too close for comfort. But in the end, God's Reign, they were able to seal the deal